Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. Welcome back to my playthrough of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. And on this part, we are going to be finishing up the fifth case in the game, which is technically the final case before the DLC case. But you guys have told me that there's one final part left, and that there is going to still be even more twists. So what other twists are we going to have in this? But anyways, let's continue off here. Let's see what happens now. Beyond Despair. So I wonder if Queen Amara is alive or if she's dead. High Court of Karain, accused lobby. We're lucky the ambulance made it in time. But we've been forced into a recess for now while things get straightened out. I can't believe what just happened. Tell me about it. Do you think Garan put that guard up to it? If she did, she's going to regret it. No one gets away with something like that on my watch. Poor Queen Amara. Your benevolence. Any news on her condition? She is undergoing surgery at the hospital as we speak. They are giving her a 50-50 chance of survival, though. That Garan. Justice will be served. Why? Why did this happen? Oh, just as we were finally reunited. Oh, Queen Amara. What was that about being reunited? Oh, it's nothing. Right. How are you, Hornhead? Yeah, I suspect that Rafa might actually be Amara's child, not Garan's child. That's a possibility. Dark Sadmati was your father in all but blood, after all. Thank you for your concern, your benevolence. But I'm fine. Right now, we still have a trial to see through. So that's what I'm going to stay focused on. Hornhead. You are sturdier than your stature lets on. Just don't overdo it, okay, Apollo? Dirk. That was a real shocker, alright? So Dats didn't know about it. Can't believe the dragon is dead. That's... Say, AJ, I was wondering. When Dirk disappeared after I freed him, that's because Amara turned back into herself, right? Yeah, I suppose so. But I don't know if it was because Dirk's spirit willed it, or if it was part of Garan or Amara's plan. Man, our dream of revolution. Now what are we gonna do? Is this it? Don't give up yet. There is a very good chance that Garan is the real culprit in all this. And if we can prove her guilt in court... Hey, you're right. That could be just a push we need. The dream lives on. Yes, it does. You know what that means, AJ. The fate of the revolution rests squarely on your shoulders. Heh all in a day's work. Who am I kidding? That's a ton of pressure. But this is what Dirk gave his life for, so I have to do this for him. The Honorable Rebel Dirk Sadmati. I would have loved to have spoken with him while he yet lived. Really? Why not? I mean, he seemed like quite an interesting man. Did she bump her head or something earlier? The trial is about to resume. The defense is to report to the courtroom at once. Already? After what just happened? The first thing Garan will do is respond to the last accusation. So you better stay on your toes, Apollo. I will, Mr. Wright. Ready or not, Garan, here comes justice. May 19, High Court of Karain.
Now then, let's resume today's proceedings.
Huh? What the? Where's Nahyuta? I must offer my apologies. I never imagined a royal guardsman would do such a thing. What? He wasn't acting under your orders?
How dare you cast such suspicions upon Her Eminence?
It is quite alright, your majesty. Suspicion is only natural under such circumstances. But rest assured that he acted alone, for I knew nothing of his plans, yeah, sure. I don't believe that for a second. Now then, Your Majesty, regarding the murder of my husband, Minister Inga, I would like to offer a new possibility.
A new possibility, you say?
Indeed, for during the break, the real killer confessed to me. What? What? Oh, well. Bailiff, call the witness to the stand. The real killer confessed? What she got up her sleeve this time? Oh, don't tell me that it was Nahyuta. I have a really bad feeling about this. Yes, Nahyuta, I can recognize his boots. He's the one who confessed?
Prosecutor Sadmati, you're the real killer?
I questioned him during the recess, as I felt that Amara had been covering for someone. So it was that he finally confessed his crime to me. Nahyuta, you didn't really do it, did you? Her Eminence speaks the truth. It was I who killed Justice Minister Inga. No, I don't believe this. No. No, he's being forced to confess. Nahyuta!
Peace! Prosecutor Sadmati, are you absolutely certain about this? A confession of this nature is grave indeed.
Yes, I am certain. For I killed him by my own hand. At last, the real killer has been revealed. How are we supposed to respond to this? Nahyuta, retract your confession now! Mr. Justice, it is not yet time for your cross-examination. Who cares about that? Admit it, it was Queen Garan who put you up to this. She forced you into giving a confession, didn't she? You are out of line, Mr. Justice. Learn some self-restraint. But... Or do you have something that might prove that I did not commit this murder? That is... What do you think you're doing, you idiot? Truly, the truth can set us free. Looks like Garan got to him somehow. I definitely didn't see this coming. Nahyuta, why are you, doing this? Why would you sacrifice even your life to do Garan's bidding?
Whatever the case may be, Prosecutor Sadmati, your testimony, please.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I want to hear this. Cross-examining Nahyuta, then. Witness testimony. Let's see. This is gonna be good. Nahyuta's confession. I could not remain silent while Her Eminence fell under suspicion for this crime. It was I who murdered Justice Minister Inga. He had to die for the future of Karain. I consider it divine judgment cast upon a fiend who sought to assassinate our monarch. My mother was simply covering for me. I am ashamed I let her go so far for my sake. You do understand what you're doing, right, Nahyuta? You're sentencing yourself to death if you're found guilty. If that is the court's verdict, then so be it. I must obey the law above all else. The law, Nahyuta, or the queen. Enough! This blather has nothing to do with the witness's testimony.
Please address any issues you may have during the cross-examination, defense.
Oh, I will. I'm going to blow his problematic testimony to smithereens. Nahyuta's confession. I could not remain silent while Her Eminence fell under suspicion for this crime. You kept quiet all this time, even though you were the real killer. Yes, and I accept that what I have done can never be forgiven. But I never imagined suspicion would fall upon the Queen herself. Prosecutor Sadmani has placed the future of our kingdom above his own life. He is taking responsibility for his crime and is showing his loyalty to the Queen and country. What's the motive, though? We haven't been... I want to ask him what his motive is. That's what Apollo should ask him. He should ask him why he did it. Without a monarch on the throne, Karain would be plunged into chaos. I could never wish that upon my homeland. That is why I had to let the truth be known. What a bunch of baloney. I'm going to ask you again, Nahyuta. Did you really kill Minister Inga? Yes. No matter how many times you ask, Mr. Justice, the truth is immutable. It was I who murdered Justice Minister Inga.
Hold it!
It's not too late. You can still retract your confession before the verdict is rendered. There is no retracting the truth. One either tells it or does not tell it. It is that simple. Urgh. Why do you always have to be so stubborn, Nahyuta? I hate how you never listen to reason once you get like this. I think we'll need some evidence before we can get him to retract his confession. Either that, or we'll have to force a retraction out of him by appealing to what's in his heart. It's not going to be easy either way.
Prosecutor Sadmani, what was the motive for your crime?
Well, finally. I had reason enough to kill Minister Inga. No, that's not a motive. He had to die for the future of Karain.
Hold it!
What do you mean by that? Minister Inga was planning to assassinate Her Eminence in a coup d'etat. I had to nip this evil in the bud, even if it cost me the purity of my soul. So you're saying the death of another is a reasonable price to pay to protect the Queen? Long have we remained independent under the authority of our spirit medium queens. We command the people's awe and respect with the power to commute with the dead. Without such a monarch, our kingdom would lose its standing in the world. But if spirit channeling is so important, why did you have Queen Amara perform the rite? I'm afraid my elder sister is quite, capricious. She would fulfill her duty only when the desire struck, as sporadic as that was. It was therefore something she did on a whim. There was no meaning behind it. A meaningless whim. It's hard to press a statement like that. Now, if I may return to my testimony. I consider it divine judgment cast upon a fiend who sought to assassinate our monarch.
Hold it!
Divine judgment? Yes, I rendered judgment upon the minister on behalf of the Holy Mother. Are you saying the Holy Mother guided you? No, Her Holiness would never condone killing in her name, regardless of circumstances. As such, I believe my defiled soul will be damned to hell. But I do not regret what I have done. I willingly sacrifice my soul to protect this kingdom's future. Snap out of it already, Nahyuta. So his motive comes from a place of faith, huh? Why does that sound completely credible when it's coming from him? Well, Amara expressed a similar motive. As for her mercifulness, she is truly deserving of her title. My mother was simply covering for me. I am ashamed I let her go so far for my sake.
Hold it!
So you killed Minister Inga, and Queen Amara staged this crime. Is that how it went? Precisely. My mother is as clever as she is kind. Well, even if that is true, that makes her an accessory to murder, which is still an extremely serious offense. She sought to conceal my crime by taking all of the guilt upon herself. Yet another lie. I need to poke a hole in this testimony, but how? Nahyuta, could it be you? Didn't know Naya's real identity. Told Amara what to do. You didn't realize that Nana was actually Queen Amara, your own mother. That is not as strange as you might think. Much time had passed since we last met, after all. Right. 23 years ago, was it? When Dirk saved her after the supposed assassination attempt. No, Mr. Justice. It was 15 years ago that Dirk abducted my mother. Huh? That's weird. Are you sure about that? I remember it clearly. I was around 10 years old at the time. You know, I'm really curious on one thing. Rayfa is 14 years old, and remember that that Queen Amara went with Dirk 15 years ago. Is it possible that Rafa is actually, Dirk and, is it possible that Rafa is actually Dirk and Amara's child and not Garan's? That's a possibility, too. Nahyuta, please add that last statement to your testimony. I was reunited with my mother, Queen Amara, 15 years ago, when Dirk abducted her.
Hold it!
15 years ago, huh? That's around the time I left for the US. What happened after Dirk helped Queen Amara escape? Agents of the Crown pursued us relentlessly, so we had to live a life on the run. Mr. Justice, you know that Dirk sent you away so that you would not be caught up in that life we led. I see. Thanks. Can't believe it's been 15 years. Apollo, there's something about Nahyuta's testimony. Yeah, that discrepancy's a bit hard to miss, but what could it mean? So Nahyuta got to meet his mother back when Dirk rescued her. That's what he's saying. It's news to me, though. I'd already been sent away by that point. Okay, now that I've dragged more testimony out of him, what can I do with it? Let me try the other one, too. This one, we've seen the dialogue for this already. Told Amara what to do. Did you tell Queen Amara to do what she did? No, she acted under her own volition. She must have somehow discovered my crime and then staged the crime scene. Sounds plausible on the surface, but I'm not buying it. Still, I don't think we'll get anywhere if I press the issue. Okay. "15 years ago, wait, but this is 23 years ago, the picture. The picture is 23 years ago. Okay, wait. I'm gonna save here because I only have one chance. The picture is 23 years ago.
Objection!
You're saying that Dirk made off with Queen Amara 15 years ago. But that's strange, because I heard something very different from Dirk. He said that they ran off together 23 years ago. That is impossible. I know for a fact it was 15 years ago. Well, I have evidence that contradicts your statement. How do you explain this photo? Dirk said it was taken 23 years ago. He said that. He did, but if we take what you just said as fact, then there's something in this photo that doesn't make any sense.
This isn't making any sense to me, so I suppose I should ask. What does not make any sense if this photo is only 15 years old?
If the photo's only 15 years old, the baby.
Take that!
Nahyuta, this discrepancy may not be directly related to this case, but I don't think we can simply overlook it either. Dirk said that the baby in this photo was you, but that doesn't make any sense if the photo's only 15 years old. After all, you said you were around 10 then, right? He's definitely sweating bullets over there, over something. That's probably Rafa in the picture. Apollo, if this baby isn't Nahyuta... wait, you don't think... Did Queen Amara have another child while she was on the run? What? And just what if that child were being held hostage? Nahyuta, is that why you obey Queen Garan's every command? You presume too much. He has a sister. Ah, and that's why Queen Amara was trying to take the rap as well. To protect this other child. Child born 15 years ago. It would have to be someone who's around 14 or 15 years old now. Rafa. This is just a guess. But I believe I know someone who fits the bill. This also explains the strange behavior. This is the child who was born to Dirk and Queen Amara 15 years ago. Rafa. Yep. All those strange statements she kept making. Now they all make sense. Prosecutor Sadmani, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara? And about me? From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother. And only yesterday. Rafa was carrying on about, telling the truth to the people. So I told her. I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. I cannot accept this.
Is something the matter, Your Benevolence?
Queen Amara is lying. It makes no sense. Queen Amara would not have killed my father. Why? Why did this happen? Oh, just as we were finally reunited. Oh, Queen Amara. Now I see, Nahyuta, why you do what you're told. The other child born to Dirk and Queen Amara was... Mr. Justice, I believe I know what you're about to say, but I cannot allow you to name an innocent soul as a child of a terrible sinners. I thought you might try to stop me. After all, simply revealing this information endangers who you've been trying to protect. I think this should make it clear what I'm talking about. This is your armor, the reason why you fear for your sibling's reputation. Those who would support criminals would be just as guilty. Dirk's law book, I would say the Defense Culpability Act.
Take that!
You believe that to be in my so-called armor? No, it's not that. It's not the Defense Culpability Act. The idea that the sins of the father are visited upon his children is deeply rooted in the minds of the Kurnese people. This.
Take that!
And that is... a file full of information that Dirk collected on what happened 23 years ago. Of particularly note right now is what's written here. The sins of the father are visited upon his children. The deeply held idea is why you were expelled from the royal family. Which means it wouldn't bode well for your sibling either, if she were revealed to be Dirk's daughter. You became a prosecutor to bring down Queen Garand, but at some point, you came to serve the very regime you despised. And that was because the Queen found this chink in your armor. That's how she came to use your sister against you. Hi. Nahyuta, have you been keeping this secret all this time? Have you been trying to protect me? You are an innocent party to all this. I live only to safeguard the law and serve the country and queen from which it flows. One such as you, who is destined to ascend to the throne, need not fret over one such as I. No, I cannot accept that. What you say is, it's malarkey. Don't you even care what happens to you? Before country, queen, law, and everyone's future, my personal feelings are of no consequence. This is why I resigned myself to my fate. I know I must accept the status quo without any thoughts of change. Spoken like a true prosecutor and patriot. I shall continue to rule Khura'in until the day Rafa succeeds me. For that is what is best for our kingdom. I know, Your Eminence. Yours is no small sacrifice, but I promise you this, in exchange for your life, the child shall remain safe, and the kingdom shall prosper. That is all I can ask for with my meager existence. Nahyuta, is this really the new you? Resigning yourself to the will of another and killing any hope you held for the future. No. The Nahyuta I knew would never let himself be turned to this. Now, Your Majesty, if you would hand down your verdict.
Objection!
You can say you're simply accepting your fate, Nahyuta, but I know that deep down, there is still hope in your heart. Oh, Holy Mother, preserve me. It's the kind of hope that perseveres through the most desperate of times. And it's what binds you, me, and Dirk together as a family. I know because this has demonstrated to me that you haven't lost all hope yet. Nahyuta never confiscated it. Dirk's badge, yup. This.
Take that!
When you interrogated Dirk, you confiscated all of his possessions as potential evidence. All except this. Did he take your attorney's badge too? No, I thought it strange, but just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind. So tell me, Nahyuta, why didn't you take his badge? You couldn't dare to take it from him, could you? And I know why. It's because this badge means something special to us. Hey, Dirk. Why do you still wear your badge? You're not a lawyer anymore, right? This badge is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream, not until my very last breath. A dragon never yields, right? Exactly. Nahyuta, Apollo, I vow to restore the Khura'in's legal system to its rightful state one day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny. You may say you've given up, but that's not how it really is it? You never gave up, and you never will, because you still believe that all of the wrongs will be righted someday, don't you? You are very perceptive, Mr. Justice. It may very well be as you say. Why did I not confiscate this badge? Even I did not know. Until now. Perhaps I was waiting for him to save me. Save you. Yes, save me. Like he did. On that day. Nahyuta, Apollo! Hold on, I'm coming. What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Nahyuta, Apollo, don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me, understand? Someday, he would come and free our family from the chains of the past. Perhaps deep down, that is what I believed. I believed in Dirk, our father. Nahyuta, I knew you, however, it was but a dream. And now that dream has died. Murdered along with Dirk. So now, as the eldest, the responsibility falls squarely onto me. No matter the cost, I must protect her. Please try to understand, Apollo. Understand why I shall bear all this sin. It is the only way. But...
Such insolence!
You have wasted more than enough of my time, lawyer. Do you not see the futility of your desperate floundering, the immutability of his duty? It is time to accept defeat. Oh no. Arr. Now, watch as the hammer of justice comes down upon your dear brother. Your Majesty, the verdict, if you will.
Yes, Your Eminence.
Objection!
Wait a second. What do I do?
Does the defense wish to raise an objection?
There's gotta be some way to save Nahyuta. Apollo. It all goes back to that incident 23 years ago. It's branded him the son of a criminal. So if we could once and for all prove that Dirk didn't try to assassinate Amara, right, Nahyuta and Rafa's father would no longer be viewed as a criminal. But I thought there wasn't any evidence left, because it was all destroyed in the fire. And Dirk investigated the matter for years but never managed to learn anything new. Really? Nothing at all? Could an exceptional lawyer like Dirk tried it that long and really uncovered nothing at all? He had over 2 decades, Apollo. Huh? He's right. I doubt Dirk would have gone to his grave without discovering something new. He must have secretly planted something to topple Garan with somewhere. Take another look at the evidence. You just might find what we need to break out of this situation with it in there. Got it.
If the defense is done stalling for the time, I shall now render my verdict.
No, wait. About the assassination attempt 23 years ago. The defense has some new information it would like to share.
You do? While we had intended to deliberate that case in the course of this trial,
Dirk, did you leave something behind for me? Is there something some connection I'm missing here?
Very well then. What is the source of your new information about the case from 23 years ago?
Yeah, sorry guys, got a little bit of allergies today. So Dirk hid something in the evidence that shows what happened 23 years ago. I think it's the picture of Apollo's father.
Take that!
This is my source.
Oh, and just how are we to obtain new information from it?
No, okay. Let me try the picture.
Take that!
A photograph!
I was right, it was a photo. Yes. Do you recall the traveling musician who died in the fire 23 years ago?
How could anyone forget such a painful chapter in our history? The poor fellow was caught up in the blaze that was meant for Queen Amara. We never knew his identity, though, as his belongings were burnt to ashes.
Well, about that, the truth is, he was my biological father.
Oh!
What? Why, of course, with his photo on her benevolence. Exactly. We might be able to prove Dirk completely innocent. And that would free her from the infamy of having criminal blood in her veins. Because here in Karain, we can witness the final memories of the dead. What other nonsense? So, we're gonna summon... we're gonna see Apollo's father's final moments. What happened? There was no evidence left in the wake of that blaze. That's what you think. But Dirk went to the ends of the earth to bring this little souvenir back for us. He did. Yep, and boy is the best, boy is it the best piece of evidence ever. He knew that with it, we'd finally be able to conclusively settle the matter here in court. And save his children. Your Majesty, the Defiance requires that we hold divination séance for this new victim. What a waste of time. The events of 23 years ago, of 23 years past have already been deliberated at length.
Objection!
But it wasn't Dirk on trial for the incident. Wasn't Dirk on trial for the incident as well today? So we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we failed to look into this new lead, would we?
As the presiding judge, I will now share my thoughts on this matter. The attempted assassination of Queen Amara is a case we can ill afford to leave open, and I believe that the final memories of the victim will prove to be very important. Therefore, it is the opinion of this court that we should conduct another divination séance.
Why your benevolence. If you knew the full name of the victim seen in this photo, you'd be able to perform a divination séance, right? Of course. Leave it to me. Thank you. My father's full name is... Jove Justice. Alright.
Now, your benevolence, please commence the divination séance when you are ready.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination séance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
So this is the final divination séance in the game. Then Apollo's father. We will see what Apollo's father saw before he died. Let's see what this reveals. I'm really curious what Apollo's father saw before he died. Burning heat? A baby. I see a reflection in the mirror. In the plate.
The spirit of the victim has granted us a window into his final moments. It would appear the divination séance was a success.
So those were my father's final moments. That baby we saw must have been you, Apollo. I will now decipher the experience of the deceased. Are you ready, your Hornhead? Yes, please proceed. Very well. Here are my interpretations of the facts as gleaned from the séance vision. Rafa's insight. Someone attempted to assassinate Queen Amara by setting her residence ablaze. Hornhead's father happened to stop by and was knocked out by the assassin. Dirk's fingerprints were discovered on the lighter found at the scene of the crime. That is how he was determined to be the assassin. Hornhead's father tried to save his son, but sadly he perished in the attempt. That is everything that the deceased experienced in his final moments. My father's final memories. They're right here for everyone to see, but... can any of them unlock the truth behind what happened 23 years ago? Someone attempted to assassinate Queen Amara by setting her residence ablaze. Crying, heat, burning. I want to see that plate. It looks like there's a hand there or something. It looks like a hand. Burning, crying, heat, pain. Wait, what was that right there before? Hang on. Metallic sound. I'm gonna save here, but I think it's this.
Objection!
No, it's not this. Why would he just leave the lighter there? That's the thing. That's how he was determined to be the assassin.
Objection!
Why would he just throw the lighter with his fingerprints? Doesn't make sense. Because he didn't do it.
Objection!
That hand. No. That's the final... This is the final seance in the game. But I'm having a little bit of trouble with it.
Objection!
Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna have to watch this again very carefully. Because there's something I gotta point out in this. This is not gonna be easy. Someone attempted to assassinate the Queen Amara by setting her residence ablaze. Amara was slipped a sleeping pill and perished in the fire. The way she says it happened to stop by.
Objection!
No. Damn, this final divination seance is difficult. Trying to figure out what doesn't match here. Something's off here. Ah, damn. Give me some time, guys. I gotta really think about this one.
Objection!
So it was the hand. I just had to show the hand with the lighter on it, but it was the hand. I was right. Dirk's fingerprints were discovered on the lighter that was found at the crime scene. However, the hand holding the lighter in the seance vision appears to be gloved. Ah, I believe you are right. What could this mean? It calls into question whether the hand in the vision really was Dirk's. If only we could make out the details a little better. Very well. I will attempt to focus a bit more on what the deceased saw. Perhaps that will help refine the seance vision. It does seem that there was a glove on that hand. Still, what significance could that have? It means that Dirk's fingerprints got on the lighter at some other time. Somebody could have even put them there after the fire. All you have is pure speculation, while the fact remains that they are his fingerprints. Therefore, it stands to reason that Dirk was the one who used the lighter. It just means I have to prove that the figure in the vision is someone else, using the information in my father's final memories. Either way, it seems that I must revise my insights. But if someone had put his prints in the lighter after the fact, then we know not whom it belongs. Okay, she's updated her insights. Time to go over them and see if there are any new inconsistencies to be found. Something new is gonna be in here now. This, what is this fit right here, this?
Objection!
Wait, then this means that the real culprit is... The figure in this vision is clearly not Dirk. The distinctive band around their wrist gives their true identity away. Ah! The design. It can't be. This will prove just whose hand was captured in the seance vision. Is it Inga? Yeah, it looks like Inga's hand.
Take that!
That photo. So do you believe the culprit to be... Just Minister Inga had cuffs with the exact same pattern on them?
You're referring to the cuffs of justice, correct?
Yes, I hear they're a traditional part of Kureni's Justice Minister's attire.
But what does this tell us?
It tells us that the figure in the vision is none other than Kureni's late Minister of Justice. I know what the Queen is gonna say. At this time, the Minister of Justice was actually Dirk, so that's probably what the Queen's gonna bring up. Inga Karako Kurene. No. Not my father.
So he plotted the assassination of the former queen as well as the current one.
Just Minister Inga? So then Dirk's innocent of both charges? The Defiant Dragons, they've been right all along? Nahyuta? What you've proposed is not possible, Apollo. For back then, Inga Karako Kurene was not the Minister of Justice. What? The Justice Minister 23 years ago was... You, Queen Garan. Oh, right, the Queen. How could I forget? Because I remember that Dirk was not the, Dirk wasn't a king, but he was married to the Queen. So it was Queen Garan. What? Oh, right. She served as Minister of Justice before succeeding the throne. I guess she also prosecuted the assassination attempt 23 years ago as one. So then, the figure in this vision is actually... Your Eminence. It's you, isn't it?
This is madness! Why would Her Eminence do such a thing?
Because she would ascend to the throne. She wanted to usurp the throne from her sister Amara. That's why she tried to assassinate her.
I find this all very hard to swallow.
Your Eminence, are you the one responsible for tearing my family apart? And was it you who killed my father? Well, Your Eminence, I'm asking you a question.
Insolence!
Peasants. Always carrying on about things of no import. You do not deny it then? You concealed the truth and used me for your own designs? Oh, Nahyuta, spare me your feeble-minded line of questioning. Even if Dirk were cleared of all charges, it shall still be I who decides Rafa's fate. You do wish for her to be queen someday, do you not? Remember, the child lives only by my good graces. Now kneel before me and fulfill your end of the bargain by offering me your head. Your Eminence, I am done heeding your commands. Even if, as you used my sister against me, I still believed you. I believed that protecting your secret was in the best interest of this kingdom. But you have been deceiving me all this while. Nahyuta. Nahyuta, you dare defy me! Your Eminence, I can turn the other cheek no more. Therefore, I hereby retract my confession in the murder of Justice Minister Inga.
Retract, you say?
Dirk, the final piece of evidence you left behind, has released Nahyuta from his suffering. And now, he's finally free. In all this time, not once did I reflect on my own conduct, for I had believed all was fate. Lost in my own sense of resignation, I was unable to wake from my despair. But you, Apollo, you have awakened me with your demonstration of our father's creed.
A dragon never yields.
I will carry on Dirk's legacy and fulfill his dream. That's why he had a glove on the whole time, because he had a Defiant Dragon's tattoo on it. Hear me, Garan. I will cast you down from your bloody throne. Long live the revolution. Insolent fool. Not even you prattle on, now even you prattle on about revolution. Would you look at that? Well, Apollo, it seems we're finally making some headway down the road that Dirk carved out for us. Yeah. Now, if we just prove Garan's guilt, we could continue on down that road towards the revolution Dirk dreamed of.
Your Eminence, you have been accused of the crime committed 23 years ago. Would you like to say anything in your defense?
Not so fast, Your Majesty. For the cuffs could have been stolen and used without my knowledge. So you see, they can hardly be considered proof of anything.
Oh, I believe you're right.
We know she's guilty. Well, lawyer, is there any other evidence you would have me refute? There has to be something else. Unfortunately, this photo was the last piece of evidence Dirk left for me. So as far as evidence goes, I've got nothing else regarding the case from the past. And here's the thing. In court, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Just like in that movie, Law Abiding Citizen, that is a true thing. So, we know that she did it. We know she's guilty. It's obvious to us that she's the killer. But there's really not 100% proof on that. Even though we know in our hearts she did it, we have to have proof to prove that she did it. However, now that Prosecutor Sadmany has retracted his confession, we'll have to deliberate the current case from scratch. Yes, the defense speaks the truth. Even though it is clear who the guilty party is. Queen Garan, the defense accuses you for the murder of Justice Minister Inga Caracol Karain.
But do you have any evidence, defense?
Evidence that will prove Garan was the killer. There is still one more avenue for us to explore, Mr. Justice. There is. Minister Inga's final memories. In them, the minister's killer posed as Dirk. Therefore, one must ask, how did the killer dispose of their disguise? Hey, you're right. A lot of blood would have spattered onto the killer. The blood so close would have to have been dealt with somehow. They were burned, probably. If they're still around somewhere, then... I was wondering what absurd idea you would concoct next. Clothing can be disposed of most anywhere. I doubt you could find them now. Unless it's on Dirk's body. It's the same clothes that she wore.
Objection.
Then you don't know us very well. Your benevolence. Yes. On the day of your father's murder, you had been watching the courtyard from 2 p.m. Now, during that time, you saw Queen Garan, did you not? Yes, I did. I saw my mother entering the palace from the courtyard. But I was told not to mention it because it had nothing to do with my father's murder. Rafa, you would not dare. When the queen headed into the palace, did she have Dirk's clothes in her possession? No. No, she did not. So, maybe she disposed of them somewhere in the courtyard.
Objection.
The police did a thorough sweep of the area following the crime. But they did not find anything resembling Dirk's clothes. But you knew that already, didn't you, prosecutor? Remember that Dirk died, before Inga did. So she could have just taken the clothes off of Dirk and then put it back on his body. She could have done that. Yes, I admit no clothing was found. Hehehe. So you admit that you were merely speculating. chasing phantoms and delusions of evidence that never existed. This makes no sense. Clothing doesn't just disappear like that. If Garand wasn't carrying any clothes, she must have gotten rid of them somewhere. Somewhere where she thought they'd never be found. The tomb. Where they'd never be found, huh? I believe Dirk's clothes were hidden here. The tomb. I'll just save right here, but I'm pretty sure it's the tomb.
Take that!
The tomb? You believe the clothing was hidden there?
Yes, it's the only place it can be.
Very well. Where in the tomb do you believe the clothes were hidden?
The sarcophagus.
Take that!
Of course, that makes perfect sense. The clothes weren't simply hidden, they were returned to where they belonged.
And by that you mean...
The killer would have had to get Dirk's clothes from somewhere. Luckily, they were right there.
Yes!
Yes, of course. At the time of the minister's murder, Dirk's body was already in the sarcophagus. The killer could have simply borrowed his clothes. Right, before the minister entered the tomb, the killer put on Dirk's clothes, and then hid behind the curtain above the sarcophagus. And after the minister was killed, Dirk's clothes were returned to his body. My theory is true. So what? This is still all speculation. We know not whether those clothes were actually used in the murder. Well, actually, we could do a DNA test. If she wore them, there's probably going to be some of her DNA on the clothes. Therefore, you cannot prove that they were somehow connected to this case.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong. But I believe you already knew that. These clothes were definitely used during the minister's murder because of this. What proves that they were worn during Inga's murder? Oh, it's because he has this off. He would have put this on. He would have kept this on him at all times. But she forgot to put it on his neck.
Take that!
The bloodstains on Dirk's chest are no doubt the result of being shot by the minister. However, that doesn't explain everything. There is also some blood splatter extending from his left elbow to his abdominal area. I believe this blood splatter came from... I just like how the Defiant Dragons theme is also playing here now. Yeah, Inga's blood, I would say. If the killer wore these clothes during the murder, then the blood splatter must have come from Minister Inga. I had thought it was all Dirk's, but that makes sense. Only one way to be sure, though. Let's get those stains analyzed right away. Indeed, this may be the conclusive evidence we need to prove the Queen's guilt. You cannot prove it was I who hid those clothes. They could very well have been hidden by a third party. But could they really? I'd say the possibility of someone other than Garand hiding the clothes does not exist, because she only has the key. No, it's just not possible. Your Eminence, I recall you saying the following. She and her sister only have the key. The key to Amara's sarcophagus is under the protection of the royal family. Yup. So she basically just incriminated herself. My husband and I are the only ones who could open it. Therefore, it would be impossible for some knave to open it.
Oh!
That was your own testimony, word for word. Why you? Insolent. Admit it. Only you could have hidden Dirk's clothes after they were used in the murder. And that means you are the one who killed Justice Minister Inga. Insignificant worm. You dare accuse me, the ruler of Karain. Do not think for one moment that such impudence will be tolerated. I'm afraid such arguments are invalid here in this sacred hall, Your Eminence. Because even monarchs aren't above the law. Oh, I love that line. That's my favorite Apollo line. Monarchs aren't above the law. It's the end of the line for you, Queen Garan. Time to come down from the lofty throne and face justice. What's happening now? What happened? Hehehehe. Why is she still laughing? Me? Face justice? Surely you jest. You are in no position to force my hand, lawyer. Oh? Surely you haven't forgotten about the Defense Culpability Act. Those who support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In short, should I be convicted of murdering my husband, your dear brother, who delivered false testimony in my defense, shall also be found guilty. What? That can't be. Can it?
By delivering false testimony in the course of protecting a guilty party, he would certainly be judged by this court as having supported a criminal. And the Defense Culpability Act would most definitely come into play.
Ugh. But the law is so broad that anyone could be convicted under it.
When it comes to the DC Act, even I am conflicted. And yet, as it currently stands, it is the law of the land. And as you said earlier, no one is above the law.
Of all the absurd things I've seen, this law really takes the cake. Now what? What can we even do at this point? You need not look so forlorn. Dirk has been cleared of all charges. So let us leave all thoughts of the real killer and revolution in the past where it belongs. She wants us to just let her off scot-free. And yet, I don't see any other choice. We cannot yield to her, Apollo. If it will move the revolution forward, I will gladly face the DC Act. Now do it. Accuse Queen Garan of the crime she has committed. But...
Such insolence!
What you speak of is not revolution. Our kingdom will not function without its sovereign. And Raifa cannot ascend to the throne, for she is yet incapable of channeling spirits. Thus, to accuse me is to wish destruction upon the fair kingdom, you terrorist. Terrorist? If you would still insist on accusing me, then as ruling sovereign of Karain, I proclaim the following. All who imperil the crown, no matter the reason, shall be subject to immediate execution upon the Queen's orders. No. What? Immediate execution? Do you still not comprehend? Then let me be clear, for the sake of this kingdom's future, and in accordance with the laws of Karain, I command that you be put to death at once. What? What the? Hehehe. Isn't this going a bit too far? This is what a dictator does. Why is the Grand Royal Guard? They were on standby in case when attacked by a foolishly optimistic terrorists. Now, if you would continue to oppose me, the very embodiment of the law, then under my regal authority, you shall all be put to death.
Objection!
Oh, come on. This is insane even for you. You can't possibly get away with something like this. This is a court of law. You can't just order execution without due process. Now look, Apollo. Truth and due process are certainly important, but so is your life, so think before you speak again. But... Please, Apollo, do not make this any worse than it already is. I cannot lose you to the Twilight Realm, too. What am I supposed to do? How do I win against an opponent that can rewrite the laws she sees fit? How can I even bring her to justice? Is this really how it all ends? It is your life or your accusation, lawyer. You cannot hope for both. It is time to cease this insanity. What do I do? Should I accuse Queen Garan? I'm gonna save right here. I'm gonna accuse her. A dictator can't just rewrite the law, and nobody is above the law. Whether you're a dictator, a monarch, president, doesn't matter who you are, you're not above the law. I'm gonna do accuse. I know what I have to do. Mr. Wright, you know that saying you're constantly reminding me and Athena of. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You never fail to surprise me, Apollo. And Nahyuta, you know that creed we've known ever since we were kids. A dragon never yields. Apollo, they are not merely words. They are what's carried us this far. So now, it's time to honor those words and the memories of the ones who gave them to us. I couldn't agree with you more, Apollo. Those words are more important to me than you know. And if there's any time to remember them, it's now. It would seem, Apollo, that not one, but two as suspicious creatures dwell deep within you. Fierce dragon, and a virtuous phoenix that shall scatter the clouds hiding the heavens. I shall join you in your death-defying bluff. I think I finally understand what those words really mean, and the resolve they embody. Are you smiling, even in the face of certain doom? Is there no end to your defiance? Unfortunately for you, no. I won't let fear or even the law force me to abandon the pursuit of truth. Because there is another saying in my country, the truth will set you free. Indeed, that is precisely what Dirk sought to do through this trial. He wished for us to break free from a certain despicable spider's immobilizing silk threads. We won't be intimidated by unjust laws, or given to fear. Abandoning the truth like that is just not a part of my playbook. There is only one path before us. Revolution. The time to make Dirk's dream a reality is upon us. Your Eminence, if you are the law here in Khura'in, then your very existence is wrong. Oh, does your desperate bleeding know no end? I know it's a bit late to ask, but what's the plan? Well, if Garan's going to execute us on the spot under the Defense Culpability Act, and the law itself derives its power from the authority of the Crown, then there's only one thing to do. We dethrone her, right here, right now. Alright, but how? It's not like we have a lot of time to come up with a way to do it either. I doubt she'll allow you to perform another cross-examination while we think. Don't worry, I'll come up with something. We'll be fine. We can't give up. Not now. We have to keep on fighting to the end. We can't allow these broken trials to go on. It's time to make things right. Oh, this is it. This is it. Oh, now. If I accuse Garan, Nahyuta will be subject to the Defense Culpability Act, which means he'll be put to death in accordance with the law. So then the only way out of this is to dethrone Garan right now. Could this be the key to dethroning Garan? The Founder's Orb. Is the Founder's Orb the key to revolution? Dirk was convicted that this orb is the key, convinced that this orb is the key to revolution and Khura'in's future. In light of Garan's obsession with the orb, it makes a large amount of sense. She probably doesn't want anyone using it to gain spiritual powers and rights to the throne. Inga definitely tried to do just that, but that's where it starts to fall apart. Inga couldn't have channeled the Founder even after abducting Miss Faye, after all. Let me see here. Inga couldn't have channeled the Founder, even after abducting Miss Faye after all. Only the Founder, only the, Queen knows the Founder's true name. He didn't know the Founder's name. Inga didn't know the Founder's name. The name of the Founder is only known to those who become Queen. That means the only people who know her name are Garand and Amara. So even if someone else had the orb, they wouldn't be able to channel the Founder. So that begs the question, why is Garand so fixated on the orb? Okay, let's not overthink this. Garand is obsessed with the orb because... she wants to clear her name, it's a national treasure. She can't channel spirits. This is the only one that makes sense. She can't channel spirits. Garand wants spiritual power. Remember that only a queen could channel spirits, so if she can't channel spirits, she can't be the Queen of Karain. It's hard to believe, but... if she wants spiritual power, does that mean Garand can't channel spirits? That'll explain why she had Amara performing the rite of channeling. Is that why she let Amara live, to stand in for her when the time came to channel spirits? So if Garand can't channel spirits, she'd have no claim to the throne. There we go, Garand has no claim to the throne. Oh. She can't be queen. Garand's Defense Culpability Act was established under the Crown's authority. But she has no claim to the throne, that the DC Act would become null and void. No, not just the DC Act. All of the insane laws she's enacted will be swept away all in one fell swoop. You claim the authority of the Crown. You, of all people. That's a good one. Have you truly lost it, lawyer?
Indeed, I would have the defense explain himself at once.
It's easier, Magistry. Why is Queen Garand so obsessed with the Founder's orb? Why did she let Queen Amara live? And why was she having her mercifulness perform the rite of channeling in her place? The answers to these questions point to a single conclusion. A fact that will shake this kingdom to its very core. I still do not follow, Apollo. Your Eminence, I have just one question for you, and please be honest. You can't actually channel spirits, can you? Yup, that's our answer right there. What? You believe the Queen is not capable of communing with the dead?
The defense will explain himself at once.
In Karain, the ability to channel spirits is an absolute requirement for a would-be queen. But Your Eminence, if you were incapable of doing that, then you'd have no claim to the throne. Not only that, but every law you've passed would be rendered null and void. And you, the Garand Royal Guard, you seem to be rather enamored with the Queen's supposed spiritual power. But what if she had none? What if she were just an ordinary person, a pretender to the throne? That's crazy talk, impossible. Everyone knows that only spirit mediums. Such blasphemy. On what grounds do you make such a defamatory claim? Queen Garand, if you think I'm just out to defame you, then prove it. Prove it using this piece of evidence you want so badly. The Founder's form has appeared from within. It seems only the Queen knows the Founder's real name. Founder's orb.
Take that!
All the conditions for summoning the Founders should be in place. With the orb, we know what the Founder looks like. And as Queen, you should know the Founder's name. Now, if you would, Your Eminence, please show us the great spiritual power you bear as Grand Priestess of Karain. Oh, to witness Her Eminence's great power with our own eyes. The Holy Mother will appear before us, Oh, great miracle of miracles. Praise be your eminence. May your mighty spiritual power show us the way. Urgh. Enough! Enough, I say, you mindless cretins.
Your Eminence, can it be that you cannot?
No, I want a lawyer. Someone one at once.
Objection!
Aren't you forgetting something? There aren't any lawyers left in Karain. Oh, man. You can thank the Defense Culpability Act for that. Your Eminence! Please give us a glimpse of your magnificent spiritual power. Summon her holiness so she may guide us. I've heard enough from you. Out of my sight, all of you. If you truly are capable of channeling spirits, then get on with it already, Your Eminence. You sneaky, underhanded wretch of a lawyer. That reminds me. You said something to this effect earlier. It is time to cease this insanity. Don't you feel stupid for saying that now? Indeed, of all the things she has said, I can think of nothing more ludicrous. Apollo, teach this deceitful, putrid queen a lesson she won't soon forget. Gladly, because it really is time to cease this insanity. Garan, your reign of terror ends here. Very well. Demonstrating my facility as a spirit medium is simple enough. Behold the magnificent power to commune with the dead. Oh, Your Eminence! O great spirit of the Founder, who dwells in the Twilight Realm, heed the secret covenant of the orb, and appear here before us. Oh, here it comes. Nothing's gonna happen. What's wrong? Are you not feeling well? She's a fake. She's a fraud. Oh, Spirit of the Founder, grace us for your sacred presence. The time is now. I beseech you, appear before us. Heed my call. Founder, please. So she mocked Rafa over her divination seances, and she can't do it. No, wait. I was just warming up. The rite actually starts from now. Look. Holy Mother.
Prosecutor Sadmani, how is Her Eminence?
It seems she now believes that she herself is the Holy Mother.
I see, but her attempt at spirit channeling failed, did it not?
Sadly, he seems unable to accept the facts. I fear it will be quite a challenge to question her later.
And what, if I may ask, was her motive? I understand that she killed Minister Inga in order to prevent his coup d'etat. But what of her attempt to assassinate Queen Amara 23 years ago?
To become a queen herself, maybe she just craved power and attention. She likely developed a psychological complex from her inability to channel spirits. That is why she kept Queen Amara alive to perform the rite of channeling for her. In that way, it would seem as if she had great spiritual power. In short, she built a cult of personality upon fear and lies. Then again, do not all tyrants. So then, she never really intended to kill Amara, huh? What I don't understand is why Queen Amara even listened to Garan in the first place. Especially 14 years ago, before Rafa was being held hostage. Why would she keep letting the people of Karain think she was dead? While she kept quietly performing the rite of channeling for, Garan. My mother is a gentle soul by nature, and loves her sister dearly. So when Garan told her to hide because Dirk was out to kill her, she believed it. What's more, she did not wish to tarnish the name of her beloved sister. That is why she acquiesced so obediently to Garan's request to keep channeling for her. Until she fled with Dirk, and was told the truth, that is. So then so that's what happened. And since Rafa was being held captive, I imagine Amara had no choice but to help cover up the truth behind Inga's murder. Yeah, living secretly as Rafa's servant, Nena. No doubt only deepened her love for her daughter. She'd do anything to keep her safe. All the more reason to hide the painful truth from her.
Well, that was a case for ages. Prosecutor Sadmati's been cleared of all suspicion in the murder of Minister Inga, as has Mr. Dirk Sadmati in the assassination attempt on Queen Amara. Now then, I think it's high time I handed down my verdict on Dirk Nahyuta Sadmati.
And nobody's at the prosecution's table. Dirk, I hope you're watching. I proved your innocence. Nahyuta's smiling again. And that revolution you've always dreamed of is finally happening.
With this, I may finally say, this court is adjourned.
May 19, High Court of Karain. Accused lobby. Way to go, Apollo. I was on the edge of my seat when those guards stormed the courtroom. That was a shocker, alright. Can't imagine anything like that happening back home. I know, right? I was ready to go on, down there and teach them a lesson myself. Really? I was barely able to hold her back. Hold me back? You were about to go ballistic after a while, Derafina. Yeah, well, I was thinking about helping you, smack a few of them down, to be honest. Remind me to never say or do anything to deserve a Maya Athena double, suplex. You did a fine job out there today, Apollo. Thanks for all the great advice, Mr. Wright. Nah, it was all you. That perseverance and never say die attitude you showed was impressive. I actually learned a thing or two myself. What? For me? That's a laugh. There were any number of times where I wouldn't have blamed you for giving up, but you stuck it out to the end and came away triumphant. By sheer force of will. And inner strength, forged in countless trials. You overcame the most desperate and hopeless situation I've ever seen. I don't know about all that. I mean it. You've really come a long way, Apollo. I have nothing but respect for your abilities as an attorney. Really. Aren't you exaggerating just a little bit, Mr. Wright? You did it, Apollo. You finally won his seal of approval. But what about me, Nick? My channeling's come a long way, too. After all, I was deemed worthy enough to be used in 2 major crimes already. Yeah, and 2 major chances for me to become someone for you to channel next. Huh. Honestly, I couldn't have done this without the support of each and every person here. Mr. Wright, Athena, Nahyuta, and of course, Dirk. Sorry about my allergies today, guys. That was pretty cool, Polly. Trucy, what are you doing here? It's magic! I'm afraid she employed the old let's stow away in Mr. Edgeworth's suitcase trick. What? Though it certainly explained why my suitcase was so heavy. Tell me you at least noticed it was heavier than usual. Trucy, do you even have a passport? My magic panties are an extra-dimensional space. It's like a mini-universe in there. I could produce a passport with a drop of my hat. Right. Maybe some things in this world are better left a mystery. Hornhead. Barbed head. I am forever in your debt for what you've accomplished in this Hall of Justice. Without your presence, I may have never changed as I have this day. It's pathetic, I know. That's where you're wrong, your benevolence. It was you who changed yourself. Only you could choose to defy Garan. And that decision was yours and yours alone. That's right. All we did was present you with an opportunity. And you made use of it with gusto. This victory is yours, your benevolence. You should be proud of yourself. I see. So, oh, I am worthy of my title after all. Ha 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 ha! I shall work to heal our kingdom so that it may know peace and prosperity once more. She sure bounced back quick. So, your benevolence, I take it you learned the truth of your origins. That you are the daughter of Dirk and Queen Amara. Yes, my mother, Her Eminence, told me. She said it was a part of my disciplining. If you can, call it that. Sounds more like blackmail. Keep quiet or I'll tell everyone you're the daughter of a criminal. My mother was so insufferable. Or should I say, my former mother. Sounds like there was no love lost there. But you cleared Dirk's name. My true father will no longer be known as a criminal. Therefore, I have nothing more to fear. So what's next for the Kingdom of Karain? You lost your queen, so... Her Benevolence Princess Rayful was sent to the throne. Nahyuta. But she can't channel spirits yet, right? Indeed. Which is why I will act as a regent on her behalf. Until the day she comes into her own. Yes. Your help will be greatly appreciated, Prosecutor said. Is she going to say what I think she is? What are you looking at, you horn-headed nincompoop? Youch! In any event, I will be assisted by Nahyuta and Queen Amara for the time being. Queen Amara? Our country offers counsel to the rulers of neighboring kingdoms through channeling. It is a duty I intend to fulfill myself one day. But for now, I will have Queen Amara assist me in that capacity. So then, she's gonna be alright. Yes, it seems a bullet went straight through her without doing any serious damage. So she's gonna survive. That's a relief. You did it, AJ! Thanks to you, both Dirk and Nahyuta beat the charges against them. And you got the revolution rolling to boot. The revolution? Dirk. I guess you were right to believe in me after all. Yes, sir. There's gonna be some major changes around here. The legal system's gonna return to its rightful state, like how Dirk always wanted. And the name of Apollo Justice will go down in Karini's history. Hahaha, yeah, right. Oh, Nahyuta, before I forget, there was something I wanted to give you before I head back home. You wish to give me something? Yes. As Dirk's birth son, I think you should have this. Dirk's badge, yeah.
Take that!
This is Dirk's. I have to get back to the States, and I know you're a prosecutor and all. But as the man that's going to change Karain, it's only right that you have it. To change Karain. Yeah, in Dirk's place. Apollo. I'm afraid I must refuse your gift. What? Why? There is something I would like to show you. Huh? What's this all of a sudden? Mr. Wright, won't you and your friends please join us? Oh, sure. Oh, it's Dirk's old law offices, former Sadmati law offices. So why'd you bring us here, Nahyuta? Apollo. I want you to stay here in Karain. What? But why? We have lost our queen, and our kingdom stands at a crossroads. Most of all, we will need to rebuild our entire legal system. Naturally, that includes the reintroduction of lawyers to the court. Wait, you're not asking me to. Yes, I want you to take over this law office. With you as a lawyer, and me as a prosecutor. We shall rebuild Karain's legal system from the ground up. So basically, then, Apollo and Nahyuta are gonna have the same, relationship that Edgeworth and Phoenix have during trials. Where they're trying to get to the truth. You want me to help you rebuild the legal system. That's a lot to take in. Apollo, I cannot do this without you. As a lawyer, you are Dirk's spiritual heir. And having studied in America, your legal knowledge will be indispensable. This is way out of my league. The revolution is still in its infancy, but it was Dirk's dream to restore the legal system to its rightful state. Will you not help me realize that dream? Come on, AJ, you know it's what Dirk would have wanted. Let's do it together. You must be taken aback by my sudden request, but please give it some thought. Oh, of course. I'm honored that you asked. Still, I have my job back at the right anything agency to consider too. Don't you worry about that, Apollo. Besides, this is something only you can do. Something only I can do. I mean, to be completely honest, our office would be a bit short on firepower without you around, but hey. Mr. Wright. Actually, I'm sorry, but I can't get on board with this. Athena? I mean, there's still so much I wanted to learn from you, Apollo. That's right. It won't be the same without you. And everyone back home would really miss you, too. There's no way I can agree to this. Still, if you really wanted to stay... Yeah, Athena's right. It won't be easy, but... Athena Trucy. Apollo, no one but you can make this decision. Know that I will not question whatever choice you make. Our flight leaves tomorrow morning, Apollo. Think you can make up your mind by then? I'll try. Talk about a difficult decision. Should I go back to the US and continue working at the Right Anything Agency? Or should I stay in Karain and help Nahyuta rebuild the legal system? What's the right thing for me to do? May 28 a.m. Temple. The bus to the airport will be here any minute. I wonder where Apollo is. You think he decided to stay here in Karain? Oh, we're playing as Phoenix, then. I bet he was up all night thinking. This is a life-changing decision, after all. But whatever he decides, I'll have to accept it. I guess this means no more courtroom battles alongside him. Hey, guys! I know that booming voice anywhere. Oh, he's still wearing what I made it, huh? Apollo, you're here. Does this mean you're coming home with us? Well, about that. Mr. Wright. Yes. I've made up my mind. Here it is, the moment of truth. I still have so many things to learn from you. But I've decided to stay in Karain. You're staying? But I feel like I have to pick up where Dirk left off. I can't let his sacrifice go to waste. I see. Plus, I want to teach others everything you've taught me about being a lawyer, Mr. Wright. Apollo, Dirk's roadmap for the future, and your teachings. I believe that these two things will save the people of this kingdom from further unrest. I want to do this. No, I have to do this. Apollo, I've never felt prouder. Proud to have had such an amazing attorney working under me. So, the next Ace Attorney game. So, technically, the next Ace Attorney game would be Ace Attorney 7 then? Well, there is a Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, but those are a prequel. So technically, the next Ace Attorney game, it looks like they're setting up Apollo to be the main character in the next Ace Attorney game, and it's going to take place mainly in Karain. That's what it looks like. But someday, I'll return to the U.S. Once the new legal system here is permanently in place, I'll be back. Scout's honor. Will we really see you again, Apollo? You bet. Not that I have any idea how long it'll be. But I promise you this, everyone. I'll keep on learning and growing, and I'll come back to the US an even better lawyer. So don't you forget about me. Of course we won't, Apollo. There will always be a spot waiting for you back at the office. In the meantime, we'll be rooting for you. So knock him dead. You got it, Mr. Right. I'm gonna miss you, Polly. But if this is it, then I'm going to support your choice all the way. Thanks, Trucy. Good luck with your magic act. I know you'll, do Troop Gramarye proud. I'll be cheering for you too, Apollo. But don't think you're the only one with room to grow. The next time we meet, you probably won't even recognize me. Haha. In other words, game on. You bet, and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna miss you too, Apollo, but I can't wait to see where your new adventure will take you. Well, there's our bus. I guess this is it, Apollo. I'll never forget everything you've done for me, Mr. Right. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Here's to seeing you back in the US again someday. Until then, you know where to find me. The legacy of those who came before us. It's handed down from parent to child. And from mentor to disciple. We must never stall or stagnate, but continue to grow and change. All that we've been taught, the beliefs and convictions that have been passed down to us, we must continue to nurture them so we in turn can pass them on to the next generation.
Sure you're okay with him staying, boss?
Uh-huh. I always figured he'd leave the nest someday.
Edgeworth looked pissed.
Oh, I think they're almost here.
Just a little. Got it. Huh?
Why don't we go and check it out, AJ?
Justice Law Office. So the legal system is finally back. It's been restored to its rightful place. Go on, Mr. Hat, introduce yourself. I'm the amazing Mr. Hat, nice to meet you. I wanted to take this opportunity to announce my solo debut. It seems Mr. Hat doesn't want Apollo to leave him in the dust. We're fierce rivals, you know. I can't let him hog the spotlight. It's just not the same without Polly, is it? Yeah, I kinda miss him too. I know. We should go visit him in Crane. I always love the credits in the Ace Attorney games because they always wrap up everybody's story so you see how every character's ending. After seeing Mr. Justice in action, I got to thinking, what can I do for Crane? Then it came to me. Tourism. That's what. I'll develop Crane's tourism industry and bring it more visitors. I'll roll out a night tour centered on the Founder's Orb. Oh, and make a museum dedicated to the Defiant Dragons. Boy, the ideas just keep on coming. Well, he's definitely got that businessman attitude. I want to congratulate you on becoming a forensic investigator, Detective Sky. Thank you. The prosecutor said Maddie says he has need of me. So starting tomorrow, I'll be working in Crane for a while. Look at it this way, it's sure to be an educational experience. True? Plus, I can't let that kid show me up. I'll see what I can do for Crane's revolution. Well, challenges have a way of helping people grow. I look forward to our next investigation upon your return. Darn that forehead face. Ever since he revealed the secret behind her teleportation trick, Show requests have totally dried up. We'll be out on the street if we don't find some work soon. Maybe we should take Trucy up on her offer. She said we could make her debut as magicians at the Write Anything agency. Shut up! I'm gonna show her up someday, and on my own terms. Nothing fires you up like a bitter rivalry. Crane is just like this child right now, full of life and limitless possibilities. I have faith that Dirk and my darling Karis will watch over them both. Arrgh! Have no fear. We'll see Dirk's legacy through to the end. And just for Junior here, here's the secret to being a man among men. Behold Dat's pose. Ooh-ah-wah. Oh, it sounds like little Fada saying no thanks. Arrgh! Come on, little guy, don't be shy. I've been pulling double duty ever since Apollo left, but that's okay. I'm gonna make Simon recognize me for that awesome lawyer that I am. He's quaking in her boots. Hiss, Squidget. I can do it, and I will. Mr. Wright will be calling me his right-hand woman before you know it. Let's do this. Bucky, how dare you deliver my order in such a sorry state? Don't be mad, Simon. There wasn't a huge party at my shop yesterday, but it should still taste fine. Here, try some. You great big pillock. I just lost my appetite because of you. Hard to find good help these days. Wouldn't you say, old chum? That trial the other day really inspired me. I've even created Rakugo a routine based on Shisho's case. It's a mystery that'll keep flipping the audience's thinking on its head. It's called the Scary Uda Noodle. Hee hee. You're giving away too much in the title. Keeping the tornado school going is our way of paying penance and repaying our debt to Shizo. And that includes Rakugo training for that kid Owen. So all his personalities are still talking. My newfound mobility, even ancient ruins and their fancy schmancy Tomb Raider traps are no match for me. Fire! The university where my father worked is letting me help with a dig. One day I'll discover an unknown ancient civilization dedicated to him. I'll also be going on a dig in Crane soon. That private justice better not be slacking off. I'm going to be super busy now that I'm the head of the fake clan. Don't worry, Mystic Maya, I'll do whatever I can to help. Thanks, Pearly. Our first order of business will be to revolutionize Karain Village. Oh, I have an idea. How about opening a store where we can buy new outfits like the city girls wear? Well, look who's all grown up now. But I think there are a few more pressing matters to take care of first. Yeah, you're right. I guess it'll be a while before I get my revolutionary makeover. Mother, now that you have stopped being Nana, I want a new Nana. I wonder if there will be anyone willing to serve you in that capacity. You are quite a handful after all. I am. With a simple wave of your hand. You would have your entire chains, meals prepared, and even your teeth brushed. To think I put such undue burden upon you, you a Grand Priestess of Karain. Fear not, Rafa. You will have plenty of time in which to make amends. Oh, perhaps you could start with one of your famous shoulder rubs. Her benevolence has taken to calling me Braidhead. Even worse, she trembles and her face turns red when she speaks to me. What have I done to deserve such animosity? While it is true that I am merciless within the halls of justice, to be given such a dismissive name is entirely uncalled for. Oh, what am I to do? Perhaps I shall consult Apollo about this. So please, if anybody from Capcom actually sees this playthrough, I did send this to Capcom, by the way, this playthrough. Please make another Ace Attorney game. I hope that you guys will consider it. Great, he's a respectable lawyer in his own right. He even has his own practice called Justice Law Offices. Thank you. This wouldn't have been possible without you. Oh, before I forget, I made a copy of this photo for you. A photo? Oh. Jove. It is so good to see him again. Don't you think it's about time we told them the truth? After all, they've both grown into fine young people now. Yes, you're right. Perhaps it's about time they knew. That's probably Apollo's mother. That's probably who that is. So yeah, I will say, about Apollo Justice, is the Ace Attorney games, what I always love about these games is I just love the stories, and I love trying to figure things out and just putting everything together, and just, the stories are just so well written, the twists just come out of nowhere, and it's about the fact that when you finally confront, like, the killer, and you put all the evidence together, and you just point out their contradiction, and then they start making up more lies to cover the contradiction, and you just keep calling them out. It's really great when you just see the killer just break down like that. That's what I always loved about these games. The investigative process. Also, guys, this isn't over yet. For you guys wondering, there is still one more case after this. There's still one more. And I know some people are probably gonna be confused. There's still one more case. I thought this was the end. This is the ending. But, the final case in the game is a DLC case. So, this game came out in, like, 2016, and it was remastered for PlayStation. But the final case is a DLC case that was added afterwards, a paid DLC case. I don't know who you play as, I don't know the story, I don't know what happens, so I don't know if we play as Apollo, or Phoenix, or Athena, but there's still one more case. It's gonna be a DLC case. But, from what I've seen in the comments, you guys have told me that the DLC case, that's like so-so. Some people like it, some people don't. It's called Turnabout Time Traveler, I think that's what it's called. And also what Joe's wife wasn't saying, which is Apollo's mother, is that Apollo and Trucy are half siblings. Dear Mr. Wright, Dear Mr. Wright, I can't believe it's already been a few months since I decided to stay. I'm sorry I haven't been good about keeping in touch, but things have been really hectic. Rebuilding a legal system I'm not yet familiar with has been a real challenge. But I will say, it's given me plenty of work to keep me busy.
Have you not given the autopsy report even a curiosity glance, Mr. Justice?
I have 15 clients on my plate right now. Though I probably shouldn't have accepted all 15 at the same time. Yeah, so he's the only lawyer in Karain. Oh, please. Are you going to help me rebuild Karain's legal system or not? If you are, we need to move through this case backlog faster. Yeah, I know, but... Besides, those 15 are only the beginning. There are 10 more awaiting your services. Huh?
I too have friends and acquaintances seeking legal representation.
He's the only lawyer in the entire country.
And being that you are the only lawyer in the country, I told him to contact you. I estimate it will only add about 16 clients to your case load.
Only about 16. Huh? Huh? Now wait just 1 minute. I have been handing out advertisements for your new office. They read, from legal advice to investigating extramarital affairs, even yak milking. For a limited time only, these services and more are free down at the Justice Law Office. I have already received requests from 380 new clients. I'm going to have to say something, aren't I? Heh, I trust you did your Cords of Steel exercise this morning. Well, go on then. There is no need to hold back.
Oh! Now that you mention it, we have yet to hear you shout today.
Yes, and I've grown quite drowsy from these tedious proceedings. I could use a loud something to wake me up. Do not disappoint me, Hornhead. There's really only one thing to say at a time like this. It's a word I've said countless times in my career, but one I'll never tire of. Objection.
Objection!
So that's it. That's the end of Apollo Justice. At least the base game. There's still the special episode, guys. This one, Turnabout Time Traveler. Okay, so this is a Phoenix case then. Oh, I see Larry on there, Edgeworth, Maya. I don't recognize the two other characters. Larry is Phoenix's friend from his childhood too. I will have the DLC case for you guys as soon as possible, and then for people wondering, am I going to do Ace Attorney Investigations? Yes, we will play that, and I have a cosplay ready for that as well. So thank you guys for watching this playthrough. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I'll have the next part for you guys as soon as I can. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.